On today's podcast, I had Devin Johnson on. Devin recently had his company valued at $160 million. This company is already doing over $30 million in revenue. And guess what they do? They help people get connected on LinkedIn and monetize that connection. In fact, he has pretty much influenced me to go start taking LinkedIn seriously, because if you ever have DM me on LinkedIn, I can guarantee you never get a response back because I do not pay attention to it. And you might get a response back from me now because I'm about to take it seriously. And it's really cool to hear the insights about how important LinkedIn is and really how undervalued it is and how easy it is to grow. You know, if you're a business person and you're looking at, Instagram and TikTok and these things, and you're like, oh, they're too competitive. I can't make YouTube. I can't do this. I think LinkedIn is a great opportunity that literally most people I know don't even mess with. And just to grow on there is so much easier. So, with all that being said, you're going to love this podcast if you're an entrepreneur, and you're probably going to hire Devin's company to help you out, because I know I am. And you can see why here in the podcast. So let's jump into it. Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where our mission is to invest.
I only expect to make money in things that I understand.
Innovate.
It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past.
And inspire. I am much more likely to hit my goal just due to putting it out there.
You're now rocking with the best.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ryan Pineda Show. Today, I've got a young fella who is killing the game. This guy is only 25 years old. He has over 150 employees. His company, Connected, is something you're going to hear about today, because I'm still not fully aware of everything they do, but I want to hire them because they really help people monetize LinkedIn. And I do such a terrible job on LinkedIn, not only, building my brand, I've built my brand pretty good everywhere except LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it for all these big companies. And that was actually how we met. I was on a podcast with Dave Meltzer and ran into him. We started talking. I said, dude, come on my podcast. Tell me about what Connected is. Tell me everything I need to know about LinkedIn and why I'm screwing up not being on it.
Yeah. So first and foremost, thank you. It was spontaneous, and we met yesterday, and here we are. So,
yeah.
Looking forward to an awesome show.
Yeah.
And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. We save time, simplify opportunity, leveraging LinkedIn. LinkedIn at the end of the day is almost 1 billion users, all business focused, right? And the United States is actually the smallest market, and it's the fastest growing with LinkedIn users, right? So it's a crazy fact that the US is just now waking up to the largest business directory in the entire world. So 80% of leads or data lists that you buy are stemmed from the data and the information from LinkedIn in some sort of or capacity.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny. You listen to Gary Vee, right? And Gary Vee's always pretty much right, spot on. And I heard him talking about TikTok years and years ago. And I actually was like, you know what? This makes sense. I played on TikTok and I was like, this is addicting. This is going to become a big deal. And so I jumped on that train early, and thankfully it worked out. And it's allowed me to build my career where it is today, not only on TikTok, but on all the platforms.
Right.
But the other thing he always talks about was LinkedIn. He's like, LinkedIn is so undervalued. It's so undervalued. And we've gone through phases where we'll mess around with it and I'll post some, and I'm just like, dude, all I get is spam in these DMs. Let's connect. And I'm like, no, let's not.
Yeah. No. So that is the common response of, hey, we tried it. It's spammy. At the end of the day, every platform, there's spam and inbound that we all don't want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to weed through that, and you have to know how to actually leverage the platform, just like Instagram, just like YouTube, just like TikTok. When we all started on those other platforms, we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
And a lot of us still don't know what we're fully doing. Let's just be honest, and myself included. One thing I do know is LinkedIn, and the power of being able to get to exactly who you want is where the nugget lies, right? So instead of having to pay for an ad machine to keep going and keep growing, you can do a proper search, set up some connected software, and those 1,000 people is the perfect fit for your brand and your audience or your company or your lead gen is automated, and that conversation is coming right to your inbox, syncing right into that CRM, Salesforce, HubSpot, all the big guys.
Yeah. I want to dive deep into LinkedIn and how we can use it to monetize better. But, before we jump into that, man, I want to understand your story and how you came about this, because, for those of you listening, this guy 25 years old. His company's going to do over $30 million this year. Um, does not look like a tech guy. Like I told him, dude, you look like a typical tech guy. I was like, I look like a guy who probably sells weed, huh? And I was like, yeah, I didn't say it, but you don't look like a guy I would think would be starting this massive tech company on a business platform,
Oh, yeah.
like a professional, you're just out here, with your hat and your black shirt. Like it just, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, how did you do this?
Yeah. So, just to take it back, I was faced with a lot of adversity at a young age. A lot of us have some sort of adversity that we face. And, first 9 years growing up, dad was in prison, right? He was a part of a home invasion and got caught with his brother. And so, first 9 years, didn't really have a dad. And when he did come out, I found out that, he's a drug dealer. So here
Mm,
we are, divided household. Mom and dad never married. Dad's a hustler, legit hustler, right?
yep.
And mom's a factory worker, keeping me in good school systems. And it was just a crazy world of like, I would want these things like nice house, nice cars, but I would see my dad like depressed and sad and just like you knew he was not happy. Like looking back, like you knew he was not happy. I'm talking past since my dad passed away when I was 21
Mm,
from a heroin overdose.
mm,
So, with that being said, a lot of adversity as far as a broken home, but then my sister got diagnosed with brain cancer, and that shattered the home. Like whatever was existing was destroyed. I was 15 going on 16. In that same week, dad admits to heroin addiction. Best friend commits suicide. And my sister's diagnosed with medulloblastoma brain cancer. That is a tumor on your adrenal gland obviously cancer spreading throughout her entire body. And they said she may make the surgery, she may not, and then she'll never walk or talk or live a normal life again.
mm,
That's what my mom heard, right? She went from MRI to surgery within 8 hours.
mm.
So MRI, tumor, hey, table in that fast. And
Wow.
and all of that unfolded. And I remember that moment. And I remember how lonely and hopeless I felt, right? And I was like, man, if only could never be here again. And I know I can meet the right person or the right opportunity to figure it out. Right. And so instead of claiming why me, I said try me. And I went after and I grabbed the world by the nuts. I started selling shoes. So
Mm,
that's the sneakers, right? The shoes and helping my mom, right?
mm-hmm.
I was pretty good at it. I'd buy in bulk, I'd buy cheap. I would wait in lines to get the releases. For people that have never heard of the terminology sneakerhead, it is a $1 billion underground market of people that love shoes.
Right.
And I was in the heart of it. I knew about shoes because of my dad. My dad had over 200 pairs of shoes. I was always like, why do you have so many shoes? And, that being said, he bought me a lot of shoes when he would come around. When my dad would come around, he always just give me a bunch of gifts, and it was like Christmas multiple times a year. It was crazy.
Right.
So I took those shoes when all that adversity hit and sold them. All in that time span, my dad actually broke free of the situation for a year. We did not hear from him for a year.
Wow.
So my mom's living in the hospital, Riley's Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. Dad, to be determined, can't get a hold of him, literally a year. And so I'm selling shoes just to help my mom through the toughest time of her life. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom stayed strong. She didn't lean on any addictions. And sneakers turned to a trade show. Trade show turned into learn how to do some digital marketing and, building relationships, which that builds into why Connected got started. And, go all the way through high school, graduated, and then StockX came out.
Mm-hmm.
That is an app for anyone that doesn't know what StockX is. That is an app that tells you what to pay for sneakers.
Yep.
Not a dollar lower, not a dollar higher. It's kind of the KBB for cars, but for shoes.
Yep.
And it took the average profit. I'm just summarizing of maybe $100 a pair to maybe 20. So just
Because
put
it made the
trend.
market more efficient.
Yeah, and all these big brands like Nike, Adidas, they moved it from releasing in stores because you could pay off managers
Right.
and store, the people that are running the stores and just backdoor everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they took it to where it was app only and randomly selected by user IDs
Mm.
to get these really rare shoes.
Wow.
So not only did it get harder to get the shoes, but then the profit margins got cut down for most cases.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
No, I was gonna just I've had a guy who was on my YouTube channel. We interviewed him. He's a sneaker flipper, and this was maybe over a year ago. We did this. I like to interview these side hustles, and just talking about, man, how do you find inventory? Like, what's the deal? And he talked about waiting in line and doing all the things you're saying, and it's just like, yeah, it's definitely become so much more competitive with
Mhm.
how everything's done now.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So that leads me to my pivot, which was digital marketing. Because now I built my own website, I built my own trade show, branding materials. And I could figure out how to throw together. Wix was becoming a cool thing around then and whatnot. So we started throwing together websites for family friends, and then they would refer. And next thing you know, digital marketing business. But then I meet my business partner in that time as well.
Hmm.
That's where things really started to pivot.
Yeah. So what happened? I mean, the digital marketing side, what were you doing? Were you running ads for people?
I'll be really honest, whatever we could sell. I'm being so honest. We would figure out how to fulfill, and if we couldn't, there was a few times where we funded people, but
Yeah.
we would sell anything digital service related. But there was a focus on website builds because
Okay. You're
that's
building
yeah,
websites
yeah.
and all that.
And then my business partner, so how we met and just graduated high school,
Hmm.
huge ego for no reason. I'm telling you, man, it was awful. And no faith, no overall direction. I was serving the only God I knew, which was money.
Hmm.
Right. I was the F you pay me kind of guy.
Hmm.
Like the guy that you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I met Cody through a mutual friend, he started just pouring into me. And he went his career was entrepreneur, bankrupt, entrepreneur, bankrupt,
Hmm.
then ministry.
Yep.
And I met him in that ministry phase of life.
Mm.
And he ended up leading me to my faith and
Yeah.
finding God, getting baptized.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks of meeting him, we were in his apartment, flooding his apartment by getting baptized in his bathtub because I was like a whale then. I was 87 pounds heavier than I am
Wow.
now. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and then he knew I was a hustler, right? I was trying to work on the whole ego thing and
Hmm.
trying to find me and my identity. And so we locked arms. I needed help with relationships.
Hmm.
I really need help with the real relationship side of it.
Right.
I could sell. I was gifted, man. I had my dad's DNA, my dad's hustle.
Yep.
I could figure out how to get your credit card.
Yep.
I was good at that.
So, how do you want to pay for this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not scared
Yeah.
whatsoever, but knock your door, beat the door down, whatever it
Yeah.
took.
Yeah.
And so he really focused on, hey, you know, make a friend, make a fortune, make a sale, make a commission, right?
Mm.
Really to understand that you make a real relationship, you will prosper for years,
Hmm.
right? And so we were like yin and yang. He couldn't close a barn door,
Yeah.
but he had relationships and I
Yep.
could close.
Hmm.
And that's still how to this day, he's 7 years older than me.
Right.
So to this day, that's how we operate.
I
Right.
love that. It's something, a few things I want to hit on from that story. I mean, number one, obviously, salvation wise, man, that's so amazing that he was able to bring you out of everything that you had gone through, especially as a teenager. Like, man, you know, we talk about faith a lot on this podcast. I'm a Christian as well. And just seeing God work in so many different businesses in so many ways in terms of bringing people together, um, it's crazy.
Mhm.
So, for you, for me, for everyone else who's a believer as well in business, this really is your mission field, with your employees, with your audience and everything in between.
Amen. And just to finish my backstory a little bit for the listeners, my dad passed away at 21 from a heroin overdose. My sister's still with us. God, this is where my faith really, rubber met the pavement was when my sister started walking and talking again after, her everything being affected. And she lives a pretty normal life. Like she'll never like probably live on her own. Like
Hmm.
she has like a lot of assistance,
Yeah.
but she graduated high school, like normal high school
Yep.
and all these things. That sealed the deal on knowing that faith and a higher power was with me at all in, any given time. And this tattoo, trust God,
Yeah.
it's in that position so that I drive like this. So it is a daily reminder. And,
Yeah.
and I look down many times at my watch, and it's always,
Yep.
trust God.
Yep. Trust. I love it, dude. Yeah, we actually we have Bible study after this for the office. We do it every Wednesday night. So super cool, man. I love hearing that. But yeah, as far as partners go too, one thing I've always said is if you're going to get a partner, you want to get somebody who really complements you, right? You both shouldn't have the same skill set. You shouldn't be the same type of person. You want to share the same morals and, values, but the fact that you're a closer and he's not is great. The fact that he's good at running the back end and building relationships and I'm sure you're great at building relationships now, but
Now,
it took time,
yeah. Years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for anybody listening, that is a key. If you're thinking about partnering with somebody because they're like you're like,
Yeah. Run. Like figure out a different partner.
yeah.
They're the same person.
Yep, exactly. So, you guys do that and you start this company Connected.
Yeah, so the digital marketing grind is what I call it. So anybody that's in digital marketing or service-based businesses listening, you know what I'm talking about. Sell it, fulfill it, and hope that it works out, right?
Right.
It is a grind, man. I look up to anyone that can run an agency at scale in the seven figures. Like,
Mhm.
I got mad respect for you. But we were like, how do we get out of this rut of starting from zero, practically every month, other than a few retainers? We
Mhm.
weren't making big money. I think best we were ever doing was maybe 30 grand a month. So it wasn't like we were just like killing it, right?
Right.
But, respectable. And so I had this idea because I learned to start building relationships and network in the local community. And I stumbled on LinkedIn, right? And I created a profile and, you know, was able to put some accolades and really cool headshot and,
Yeah.
all this fun stuff to really have a good presence, even though I'm this 19-year-old punk.
Mhm.
And for a few years, able to build relationships and coffee meetings, and everything on LinkedIn. And the idea struck me. It's like, what if we could automate this process?
Mm. If you're listening to this podcast, then my guess is you're interested in real estate investing. Some of you are just starting out, while others are trying to scale their business to the next level. But the problem is, with so much information out there, most people don't know which program or coach to trust. Well, I'm a bit biased, but I believe my company, Future Flipper, can help you get to the next level. We've coached thousands of students from all over the world on how to build their real estate investing business. It doesn't matter whether you want to flip, wholesale, or buy rentals. Our coaching program has everything you need to become a great investor. There are many things that we include with coaching, but to give you a few examples, you're going to get an accountability coach. These are people that have had success in their own business, and they want to make sure that you achieve success in yours. We also have all of our documents, our systems, and processes that I've used to buy hundreds of homes. You can copy and paste them directly into your own business. And we have events where you get to meet me, top-level guest speakers, and other students who are crushing it. My students do deals with each other, and I personally do deals with them too. In fact, at a recent event, I just honored over 20 people in our program that made over $1 million in the last year. So if you want to grow your real estate business, head over to futureflipper.com and apply for a call with our team. The call is completely free, and they can help point you in the right direction whether you work with us or not. So go to futureflipper.com and book your call today. For the last year, the real estate market has been on absolute fire. Prices are at all-time highs, interest rates are at all-time lows, and there is more money in the economy than ever. But with so much competition, many investors are sitting on cash, struggling to find great deals. If this sounds like you, then you need to invest with Pineda Capital. With my network and social media following, we get access to the best real estate deals all over the country. And if you're an accredited investor, you can invest with me on those deals. In fact, last year we purchased a 334-unit apartment complex in Georgia for almost $20 million. We expect it to be worth well over $30 million when it's all said and done. Our goal with each deal is to build in so much equity from the beginning that we're able to refinance our investors' cash out and own the properties together with little to no money into the deal. And the best part is, you don't have to do anything. Our team will find the deals, handle the renovations, get them leased, and eventually refinanced or sold. All you have to do is provide the capital. So if you want exclusive access to our deals before they hit the public, go to PinedaCapital.com to schedule a call. We can put your money to work today to start getting you great returns. So go to pinedacapital.com now to get access to our deals.
And so Connected was born on a napkin, and at us 20 and 21, we had a working product, and we were selling it. We sold about 70, I think it was $72,000 in 45 days, and we were like, we're going all in.
Yeah, we got something here.
We got something. It was most money.
Yeah,
They thought I was selling SEO for.
it's better than making people websites.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And by the way, if you're listening, you make websites. Salute.
yeah.
Keep grinding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like any business, right? And I've experienced this in everything I've ever done. There's just different levels to, what the market is for that service, right? So it's like, man, I got started couch flipping, making $200 a couch, and it was great, and by having that experience and sharing it with others, they've been able to really get themselves out of
Quick
holes.
question on
Yeah.
couches. Did you ever find like money or anything really cool in the couches?
No, the only cool thing I found is when we get there and they're like, if you want this too, you can have it. Like, we don't want it. So that was like the free money.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
like I was making $8,000 a month. Like, that was huge for me.
That's
And
awesome. Flipping couches.
yeah. And then I made some YouTubes and TikToks about it, and it's become this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's great. So it's like anyone who flips couches, like, I don't look down on them. I'm just like, that's amazing. And that's what I see with website building. It's like, dude, you can make good money doing websites. Like, it's just there's a cap, right?
Mhm.
To what you can do, just like with couch flipping. And then I got into, like, I guess the next level of opportunity with house flipping. And it was like, man, instead of $200 a couch, I can make $20,000 a house.
Mhm.
Like, this is cool. And I've slowly ascended up to just different types of things, whether it be uh, e-learning, which is great, e-commerce, which is great, funds and big apartments. Those are just always on the next level, to now, doing stuff in crypto with Tykes and digital real estate. It's like, to me, that's like $1 billion opportunities with
Yeah.
what we can do. And so you just constantly, as an entrepreneur, look for this next thing, because you realize in whatever industry you're in, there's a cap to whatever that can be.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
a shelf life most of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. So, well, with real estate, it's great because you already know real estate will never
No, yeah,
go
yeah.
out of style.
That's one that'll always be around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if you're the TikTok expert, yeah, TikTok might be good for the next 5 years, whatever, right? But what's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You
I
got to
think
be
it's
able
this
to
thing
pivot.
called breakout.
Breakout.
Yeah.
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 We'll talk about that here in a sec too. Little app that you created that's gaining steam. But let's talk about LinkedIn with basically what you guys do. Because, like I said, I don't use LinkedIn at all. I've never really made money from it. I don't recruit from it. If I hired Connected, what's the first step that happens?
Yeah. So first step is where you're going to understand what would be a win for you, whether it be sales, lead gen, or recruiting, or all the above.
All right, we're going to do that right now,
Okay.
so I don't have to make the call. So,
There we
okay,
go.
for me, I think lead gen would be great for my companies. Obviously, creating more revenue would be awesome. I think we're always recruiting, so it'd be great if I could start getting candidates from there.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think those are two big priorities for me.
Yeah, so you're gonna have two separate trainings. One is gonna be recruiting focused because it is a different setup, same tool, different setup because you want a different message going out.
Right.
On the sales lead gen side, the next step what we would do is you would jump on a Zoom. We would show your VA, your team, your assistant, whoever you want running the actual program itself, how to find your exact target audience. You know your target audience, yes or yes.
Yep.
So we would pull that exact audience, like not even like a hair off, right? It could be CEO, that's a dad, that's in Las Vegas, that's interested in flipping houses. Awesome.
Yep.
We pull that list. Let's say it's 3,000 people. Great. We take it, load it into Connected. It now will only target those 3,000 people.
What will it be doing to target them?
Yeah. So it's going to be connecting with them and sending them a custom message or video at scale.
Got it. Okay.
So video's king. I know you do really well at this. So we could put a video from you saying, "Hey, I see you're in Las Vegas. You're a dad. You're interested in flipping houses. Would love to connect with you."
Yeah.
And so on average, right, especially using video, you're going to have about a 40% connection rate
Okay.
using video.
Yeah.
So let's say you
More
target,
personal.
yeah. You target 100 people in Las Vegas. That's a dad that wants to flip houses. You're going to have 40 people, accept.
How long are these videos that you're sending them?
10, 15 seconds.
Oh,
We
okay.
we own the product that enables it. It's called Connected Video.
Okay.
So it's built right in. You just shoot the video and use it at scale.
Okay.
So team's coaching you on the Zoom on how to
Mm-hmm.
do this, and then you build your sequencing. So you've built email drips, right?
Yep.
Very similar, but LinkedIn inbox only,
Okay.
right? And if you do want to weave in like an email drip as well, so connect on LinkedIn, then email them
Mm-hmm.
content, your newsletter, who you are, what you're about.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually set that up too. So you can go video, accept, email, then a follow-up message on LinkedIn. So
Okay.
they would work with you on the best strategy and what you're trying to achieve as far as the cadence, and they'll give you numbers on why this works and why it doesn't work. And then, hey, by the way, say the video this way and or put the text this way. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you create a sequence, click start, fully automated. It reaches out, connects, does the follow-up, brings the lead right to the inbox
Yep.
and or whatever call to action that you want to do.
So I do a ton of this on Instagram, but a little bit differently. So like my process for Instagram is I make a reel, I say, "Hey, DM me this word." They come to my inbox instead of me reaching out. It takes them through a sequence. There's no video that it sends them other than, a landing page to a VSL. For those who don't know, a video sales letter, and that video is about 12 minutes. And from there, if they like the video, they can apply for coaching and all that. So, do you see things like that work?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So a lot of personal brands will actually use our tool in that fashion.
Okay.
Right. So the biggest LinkedIn influencers, in the space, you get Dave Meltzer's top 10 profiles, LinkedIn, Kevin O'Leary, Grant Cardone. They're all using our technology to save time, simplify all of the inbox outreach and monetization and packing webinars.
Mm,
So do you do a lot of webinars?
no,
No.
I'm
So
lazy.
so if you did webinars, LinkedIn's an incredible platform to start packing out webinars.
Mm,
Because here's the fact about LinkedIn. The average income is over 75,000 a year.
yeah, they got money.
They got money. They're qualified, they got money, and then over 40% of them of the audience is looked at as a decision maker in the industry. Right? That's pretty broad, but they could probably say yes, pull a credit card out at some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Right. And then ultimately, it's a data play, right? That's where Connected also really helps. So you got your sequencing, that stuff's awesome. Push them through the VSL, all automated. You got, very targeted list going through. But every person that accepts, so that 40 out of the 100 that we just talked about, you're going to get their name, email address, phone number, and it's a marketable contact for your database.
Yeah.
So what's your CRM?
HubSpot.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
HubSpot's the jam, man.
Yeah. HubSpot's great.
Yeah. So, that data can flow right into HubSpot. By the way, two-way sync integration. So it all automated. And then you can create your sequence from there.
Awesome.
You know?
So, okay, that's the acquisition side. That makes complete sense. I guess from there, you would just go broader to get more leads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you'd go, if you want to go a little more open and just get, CEOs and real estate industry in the United States, you're going to get millions of people, but you would just put that on, hit
Yeah.
cruise control.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because we're just nationwide.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah.
okay. Because I'm like, yeah, 3,000 people is not going to cut it. We need a
Well,
lot.
well, I gave you that targeted,
Yeah.
scope so that you understand that you can go as big or as broad as you want. Again, you get about 1 billion people on the platform.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about recruiting. How would that play out?
Yep. So still going to go through the sequencing side of things, right? But what's going to be different is how you target it. So there's a lot of companies similar to the services you work, right? Like home warranties, for instance. There's probably big players here in Vegas that have the talent in the positions that you need to hire.
Mhm.
Let's say it's ABC Home Warranty, right? You need an account executive. They've been there 2 years because that's what it says on their resume on LinkedIn. So you could take everyone's been there at ABC Mortgage. That's 2 years experience, account executive, load them into the connected, and then say, hey, over here at Ryan's Mortgage Services, we're looking for our next six-figure earner. Feel free to click the link, fill out the application if it interests you.
Mm,
So, fun fact, the average salesperson that's been in a role for 2 years is typically stuck in that role at a mid-sized or larger organization. They feel stuck, at least mentally, right? Their career development is fluctuating and they feel kind of antsy around the 2-year mark.
yep.
So,
Yeah.
Recruiting is absolutely massive with our product. It's about a third of our customer base.
Yeah.
So you call it poaching, or you can call it being aggressive. They're out looking and considering career development. Without someone contacting them. So
Got it.
why not be you?
I like it. So I think for me, you know, first off, we'd start with acquisitions, you know, and then I guess with recruiting, do people just recruit all the time, even if they don't have a position available? They're just trying to get their database built up for it, or
That's
what?
exactly what I do.
Okay.
So out of 156, 100 of them were hired through my tool.
Right.
So and that was just we have on I call it on ice. We have the resumes on ice.
Yeah, you
60,
know are good, but you just don't have a position yet for
yeah,
them.
60 to 70
Mm,
in each department.
awesome.
So like I'm scaling big time this year, right? And I'm doing hiring phases within departments 10 to 12 at a time every 90 days
Mm,
with a budget accordingly to burn the cash, be able to bring on that type of staff
mm.
to support the ongoing growth and partnerships and enterprise rollouts that we're deploying.
As the world starts to go more digital, you need to be aware of which businesses are going to thrive in the future. One of the obvious ones is e-commerce. In fact, last year, e-commerce sales did over $4 trillion globally, and it's continuing to grow. Now, if you're like most people, you probably don't have time to learn a whole new industry and start a new business. But there is another way. You could partner with us at Lunar Ecom. We have over 300 e-commerce stores that we have created and managed for our clients. And the best part is, it's completely passive on their end. The business model is very simple. You cover the cost of creating and running the store. We handle everything else. We pick the products, we handle fulfillment, returns, and customer satisfaction. After all that, we split profits at the end of the month. This means that when you win, we win. If you want to learn more about how it works, you can watch our case study at lunarecom.com. I believe that the e-commerce space is going to continue to explode as the world goes digital. So make sure you're with the right partner who's going to be ahead of those trends. So go schedule a call with my team today at lunarecom.com if you want to learn about how we can start taking your passive income to the moon. Most people want to get rich at all costs. They make sacrifices with their family, their health, and their faith, all in the pursuit of money without even realizing it. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could grow your wealth in all areas of life? Well, it's possible, and that's why I created The Wealthy Way. It's a community of people striving to grow together in all areas. And we have multiple tools for you to use that are completely free. You can get access to the Wealthy Way Planner, where you can set goals and hold yourself accountable on a daily basis. We also have our Wealth Builder Academy, which is over 4 hours of content teaching you how to manage your time, create the right goals, and all the biggest secrets I've used to grow my life, not only in my net worth, but in all aspects. Lastly, we have our Discord community where thousands of wealth builders are all over the world encouraging one another and growing together. And once again, all of this is completely free. There are no upsells, there are no hidden catches. For me, this is a passion project, and I want to build a community of like-minded people. So if you want to start living the wealthy way today, go to wealthyway.com. There you can get all the free resources like the course, planner, and Discord community. So go to wealthyway.com. Yeah, let's talk about that. So as far as growing the company, right? I don't know if you can share. You shared with me like what you guys are valued at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to do another raise to acquire some market share and a few competitors that's sitting out there. We're going in a conservative valuation because at 160 million, so I'm going to raise 20 million, 160 million, and sell 12.5% of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's fair. Probably could go get that on the market today if I went and shopped really hard. And with that being said, we didn't raise money till 3 years in.
Yeah.
Right. And so we did a small raise of 4.5 million at 30 million, and then taking that same investor pool, rolling them into the 20 million, 160 million, all within a year span.
So you raised about 25 million bucks for the company.
The 20 million is not technically done.
Okay, got
it's
it.
spoken for, but that round's not open right now because of our corporation structure being restructured.
Yeah.
Able to support the $20 million raise.
Got
properly.
it. That makes sense.
Now, with that being said, anyone listening, sell the product first before you raise money, right? I will still have 65 to 67% of my company and control all common stock being sold in both of my raises,
Yeah.
right? Now, that could change just a little bit on some preferred stock being sold in in the $20 million raise I'm about to do. I will still have control of my company,
Yeah.
right? A lot of young tech people jump out the gate. I need to raise $1 million. You're going to sell 33% of your company at a preferred stock too. So basically, you have no control overall on your company and or a lot of, you know, talk and chatter in your ear constantly as you're trying to get something off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Prove the concept out, sell the product. I think we're beyond the days of, hey, I have an idea, give me $30 million.
Yeah. Money's a little harder to come by anyway right now.
Yeah.
These guys are tightening up the reins. So no, that makes sense. So I mean, obviously that's the main business. You guys are helping people on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm definitely going to do it. Like, okay, and by the way, just so anyone listening, how much does it typically cost to do kind of what we're talking about?
Yeah, single user's gonna be around 2,500 a year.
Okay,
Yeah, a year.
that's easy money. All
Yeah.
right. Like you just got to sell one thing. You're done. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so on our website, there's an ROI calculator,
And
actually.
oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
smart sales. So if you were going to do that though, so like for me, obviously, let's just talk about the acquisition side. I'm going to reach out to these people, connect with them. So I'm going to also increase my connections that way, right?
Connections following.
Yeah, my following.
Yep.
What about the content side of things?
Mhm.
Like, do you guys take my content and do it for me, or how's that work?
Content. So we have a content scheduler built into the platform. We are not a heavy service focused,
Okay.
business. We really phased out a lot of services and went full SaaS model and focused fully up market about a year and a half ago.
So what would you say to a guy like me? I mean, you've seen my content, right? We've got YouTube videos. Obviously, we've got this podcast. I've got all the reels and TikToks. I guess since I'm not on LinkedIn, I don't even know what works.
Yeah. So I would hyper focus who you know is watching that content and or would want to watch it and automate sending it right into their inbox and know that about 40% of them is going to get it and watch, a good portion of it.
So, but with the content, what style of content works?
So actually longer form's doing really well on LinkedIn right now.
Like how
So,
long?
like 8 to 10 minutes,
So
8
a
to
YouTube
15.
video.
Yeah, a good YouTube video. It loves surveys. It has a survey feature on LinkedIn. I think they're just, like reels on
Yeah.
Instagram right now is super hot. The survey feature, which we do 2 or 3 of them a week myself, and it's always the highest engagement and or polls, right? Surveys or polls, I forget which one they call it, but you ask a question and they vote,
Right.
and it drives a ton of engagement.
Right.
So, doing that
What
and
do
then
reels and TikToks work? Do people
Mm,
watch those on LinkedIn?
they do, you can repurpose them, right? It's not like it doesn't work, but the overall strategy would be to do a longer form content on LinkedIn, let it pop. Because the thing about LinkedIn is if you just tag someone like at Devin Johnson on LinkedIn, my audience automatically gets to see your content because you tagged it.
Mm,
So it's like Facebook back in the day, right?
yeah.
Everyone could see everyone
I,
else's
I always
content.
felt like Facebook and LinkedIn were kind of the same with
Uh,
content.
with content, yes, but Facebook tightened everything up. So you know how it's like really hard to get your reach out on Facebook
Hmm.
organically.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's on fire. Like fire. You can have millions of impressions and not pay for a single one of them
Mm,
just by tagging people, being consistent, running some surveys. But the real play is get consistent content out.
yeah.
And you have enough, just repurpose it.
Yeah.
Put it out
I
there.
just want to know which ones to put on there. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
if I should just post every YouTube video on there, if I should post every podcast, be like, go watch this podcast, go watch this YouTube. Should I be posting my tweets?
Mhm.
Like, how many times should I post a day? Like,
Yeah.
what's too much?
Yeah. So posting one time a day in the morning time is what we see working best.
Can I post 5 times a day? Would it piss people off?
I think you would what is it that called negative return or what do they call it on social media where you start to diminish the
Diminishing
reach?
returns?
Yeah. So you start to diminish the power of your content
Mm,
at that point. I don't know that number. As far as the content, as far as LinkedIn, I do know morning time is the most active,
yeah.
Monday through Friday. And then sending it through the inbox is a guarantee view or impression on the content as well.
You would just share what you've already posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that, like Instagram, you get kind of dinged for doing that.
Yeah.
LinkedIn loves it.
Hmm.
LinkedIn loves it. And tagging your new connections or your new followers on LinkedIn is very easy. You just at and then grab their name,
Mm.
but it instantly goes to their newsfeed. So if they have 10,000 people
Yeah.
that follow them, they guarantee to get to see your content
Mm.
just by tagging them.
Okay.
So getting views, impressions, and building your brand on LinkedIn. That's why Gary Vee talks about it so much. Gary Vee is the largest profile on LinkedIn. in
Does
the
he
world.
really?
He does, yeah. Yeah, almost 8 million people.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No wonder he talks about it. He wants people to follow Gary, dude. I'm the man on LinkedIn. I am Kim Kardashian of LinkedIn.
So to be top 1% content creator on LinkedIn, you just have to have more than 25,000 followers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah. So
While we're talking, I'm just gonna look up my LinkedIn because I don't even know, dude. I don't even know my password. I have no idea what's going on with it.
So number one support ticket at Connected is I don't know my LinkedIn password.
That's totally me. Thankfully, your computer said, okay, so here's what we got, dude.
Bro, I can see your profile from here. It's awful.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Who's viewed your profile? 2,200 people. I don't even know how I see how many connections I have or anything.
So you're into real estate, right? You see
Yeah.
that little, backdrop and that the text you have there. I can't see what it says right now, but I know it's awful because it's just not
bad.
built out well. So every single person that passes your profile gets to see what you do and then sees that banner, and so that
Yeah.
could be a call to action.
Yeah, 100%.
I use it for
I have 3,800 connections.
not awful. Okay, you're better than most. Honestly, you're probably top.
Can you
70%?
Can you activity 4,500 followers.
Yeah.
So people can just follow me. I don't have to click accept or anything, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fix it. This is just now that we're talking about it, it's just
I
terrible.
totally forgot to mention we optimize your profile for you.
All right,
One of
perfect.
the things we do. So go look at my profile.
Okay. Let's
It's
see.
just my name.
Okay. Simplifying conversions, is that you? Yeah.
Conversations.
Oh, conversation. I didn't see the full picture.
So see, you get a little bit of, insight
Yeah.
to me. You're like, this guy pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He might not sell weed.
Dude, he's the EY Entrepreneur of the Year nominee. The sneakers.
No, we got. I need to update that. We got that award. We bagged that award.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, that is the most intense
What is EY again?
Entrepreneur of the Year. Ernst & Young,
Okay.
largest accounting firm in the world,
Nice.
and consulting as well. Fortune 100 company.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur of the Year program was the most intense program I have ever been through. So they went up with a microscope inside and out, and you came and visited me 3 times in my office.
That's
and
crazy.
You can't apply to be in it. Someone has to nominate you. So a customer nominated me.
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And it was a 4 months due diligence process. You reviewed my finances and what I claimed to make and what I claimed to do online
Yeah.
twice with my CFO.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense.
Intense.
So the Cameo, right?
Yep.
The platform.
Yep.
He was one of the recipients of the award too.
Mm.
Yeah, so
That's a cool platform.
We were at the award ceremony together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of new platforms, you started another one beyond this.
My business partner runs it. Yeah, we kind of visioned it together. He took the massive lead on it. I'll give him credit.
What's it
So,
called?
Breakout
Breakout.
Audio.
Breakout Audio.
Yeah. So if you guys like Clubhouse but wish you could record or monetize or just make it easier to see what's actually happening, and if you miss it, no big deal, it's recorded. Breakout is that platform.
Right. So why do you think Clubhouse just hasn't really gotten any better or answered those criticisms? Because Twitter Spaces came along and they allow people to record and go
So,
watch.
Do you remember what I mentioned about preferred and common stock?
Yeah.
They sold too much preferred stock in their raise and they have no control of their company.
Mm.
So it's not like I CEO of Clubhouse and I wanted to fix that. I hear millions of people saying it, but I sold 51% preferred stock of my company. The board has to approve it. and they have a very strict board.
Yeah,
And
seems dumb.
no, no, it's awful. That's why I said like sell your product, maintain position of your company, and if it's a big payday, you're about to make 30 million bucks, whatever. Okay, sell the preferred stock, lose control of the company. That's a win, right?
Right.
But don't get hot and be desperate for money. So what happened with Clubhouse is they blew up. Jake Paul, the Paul brothers, got
Right.
an argument and started driving millions of downloads and it went viral,
Right.
right? Well, what happens on an audio-based platform is you have something called Agora, right? All of them are licensing a technology called Agora, and Agora is basically the minutes that's being used to talk on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
They bill for it, right?
Right.
That's why you can hear so clearly and it's consistent. And so they ran up this massive bill on accident, like 7-figure bill to Agora, and had to go figure out how to, raise the capital to be able to pay and maintain the platform.
Mm.
And so a crazy valuation, lots of stock sold, and I think ultimately that is why I'm going on the record. They have not listened to the criticism, and they're shadow banning and shutting people down for talking about stuff that they should be able to talk about.
Right.
Just
Right.
because you want to talk about Trump or whatever, Biden,
They're just
well,
shadow banning them.
they're shutting the rooms down.
So stupid. That's what the whole point of it is for.
Yeah, exactly.
To go debate and talk.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, we don't like this topic. Boom. But again, that's probably the board.
Right.
It's probably the board over the company.
Yeah. That's sad. But hey, that's why
Breakouts here.
breakout exist.
Yeah.
When people aren't getting it done, somebody will find out how to get it done.
Yeah. So, with Breakout, we sold, none of the stock. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just me and Cody, wanting to create a community of entrepreneurs and consumers that want to talk about what they talk about. Now there is some legalities around, like you can't go on there and talk about how you're gonna blow up the White House. Like
Yeah.
we have to shut that room down, or we could be in some serious trouble. But like if you want to go in there and talk about controversial topics about he, they, them, and Trump
anything.
and Biden, anything, you can go in there and talk about it. We are not going to do anything about it, and all are welcome, right? You can't go in there and talk about how you're going to shoot up a school, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
That's for Reddit. And what's that one website where they're always like doing dumb crap? 4chan or something?
Man, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's called 4chan. Where you always like see these crazy people. They're like, yep, they were talking about it yesterday on 4chan. And I'm just like, what is this? Is it like the dark web for Reddit? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it's the Silk Road for
like
master plans
for
to-
crazy people. Like, I don't know. So I could be wrong. It could be a totally legit platform. But anyways, yeah, dude, you've inspired me to just take LinkedIn seriously because I totally haven't done it. And I know it's important. Obviously it's like literally the highest, I guess, value audience. Like
Yeah.
they have the most money. They're the most legit. And it's just like to ignore it, now looking at it casually seems really stupid.
Mhm.
So, having a way to automate the following and post and everything would be great. So I think I'm definitely I already know I'm going to hire Connected,
Mhm.
and then I just need to get some strategy on content, and I think we'll be gold.
Yeah. No, I'm going to connect you with a good friend of mine, Alec Paul. So out of a lot of those big accounts that we just talked about, he's managing most of their content.
Oh, easy.
So-
I'll just pay that guy.
Yeah, I'll just set you up content-wise with Alec, and he can just do a strategy for you.
Perfect.
And your team can just follow it. But he's a great partner, and he uses Connected on the back end of his clients as well.
I love it. Well, dude, I'm glad I met you yesterday. I'm excited to see what Connected does. I think, dude, at 25 years old, wise beyond your years. I love seeing fellow believers do big things and change
Appreciate
the
it.
world. And man, I'm glad to have connected with you.
See?
Pun intended.
Yeah, I know. I made that branding in about a minute and a half, by the way. Sitting at Roost Chris Steakhouse and was like, what are we going to call this thing? Connected. K-E. And boom, just like that. True
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Tell everybody the website just so they don't spell it wrong.
Yeah. Connected. KENNECTED.org.
Got it. Connected.org. We'll link to it down below. We'll link to Devin's socials below. Make sure you guys go follow him. Bro, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
you coming
Appreciate
on. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching The Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to work with me, head over to ryanpineda.com. You can find my courses, coaching programs, and upcoming events. We also have free resources you can download, so head over to ryanpineda.com.